Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, we're talking two new additions to the New York Jets. The Jets have signed Al Woods and Randall Cobb to one-year contracts. Let's go over Al Woods, then we'll hit on the Randall Cobb side of things. So Al Woods, he is 6'4", 330 pounds, 36 years old, defensive tackle from the Seattle Seahawks. In the last 3 years with the Seahawks, he had 121 tackles, 4.5 sacks, and 66 stops. Now, obviously, this guy is coming in. We've talked about him a little bit over the last few month and a half or so. Coming in, Jets have needed some defensive line help. You're talking Morris alongside Quinnen Williams. You have your pass rusher in Quinnen, but you don't have that run-stuffing guy, the void that was left when Sheldon Rankins ended up leaving. So this is going to slot in right there. I don't care that he's a little bit older. Who cares? We rotate our defensive linemen pretty frequently. Now, last year, he did play 39% of the snaps. He did have, last year, he was ranked 37th of 106 defensive tackles, so that's really, really good. And then 2021, he was 13th overall. So this guy's still got a pretty good amount left in the tank from what it seems like. And at the very least, if he could help plug, the running lanes on first and second down, I like this. You got a whole, circuit of guys that could come in. You got, we've heard rumors that Clemens and JFM could be kicking inside a little bit more. You got Solomon Thomas, Quinnen Williams. So I'm really excited for this addition. I think it was much needed depth move, and I don't imagine it's going to be for a whole heck of a lot. I have not seen the contract figures released, so if they were released and you want to drop it down in the comments, let me know, but I don't think it's going to be for too much money overall. And then the other player we brought in, Randall Cobb, not New York, Green Bay Packers wide receiver, 5'10", 195 pounds, 32 years old. His last 2 years with the Packers, he has a 71% reception rate, 792 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So this is someone who's very sure-handed and someone that Aaron Rodgers knows and really likes. Remember, part of the reason Rodgers re-signed with Green Bay was because they brought back Randall Cobb. And there was a lot of where's Rodgers going to go? Why, this guy's been a big deal in Rodgers' career, and he's been a safety blanket for Rodgers nonstop. And he's not going to get any lion's share of the targets by any stretch of the imagination. When you're looking at our pecking order of wide receivers, you're thinking Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, Mecole Hardman, Corey Davis, and then you're probably talking about Cobb as wide receiver, 5? Wide receiver 5. Denzel Mims, provides a different skill set. So I like Cobb as a replacement for Braxton Berrios. I think he's a little more sure-handed and at the very least, comfortable with Rodgers. We've talked about those subtle cues that a receiver and a quarterback could have, an unspoken language that they're doing on a play-in, play-out basis. And it's like, hey, I kind of see what that safety's doing, or I see what that corner's doing. I'm going to do this. To do that. And they can kind of communicate without communicating. And that's what's so big about Aaron Rodgers and bringing in some of his guys like Randall Cobb, like Allen Lazard. That chemistry is already built up. And we've seen in the past when we bring in young wide receivers, it takes, 5-6 games to kind of get into the feel of things, get used to, a new quarterback, new offensive system. With veteran receivers, obviously they don't have to adjust to the game speed quite so much, but adjusting to a new quarterback is still a thing. So I do expect Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, Mims, those guys to kind of have maybe a little bit rougher of a start to kind of kick off the season until they understand the offense to the same level that Randall Cobb and Allen Lazard do. And look, I don't think Cobb is going to be signing for a whole heck of a lot of money. Again, I did not see this contract either, but I would think it's probably like 1 year vet minimum level kind of contract. And he's going to be able to provide you some punt return, kick return flexibility as well, where you don't maybe have to risk a Mecole Hardman or maybe another player that you might think is, maybe a little younger. You want to keep around a little bit longer. Cobb can kind of be I don't want to call him a bullet sponge, but he's the player that you have on your your squad in Call of Duty that keeps getting downed. He's just going on and on. He keeps chugging along. I don't know. That's probably a terrible analogy, but whatever. I like Randall Cobb. I like Al Woods. I think these were both smart moves. I think they're low-cost moves that fill, big needs for the New York Jets. I do expect Quan Alexander to be another player, another vet that comes in that we could shore up our linebacking core. And then I start to turn my attention maybe a little bit more towards the safeties and how we could handle that back-end group. Do we have enough there? Hey, look, overall, not going to be for a lot of money. Fills two needs. And they're good character guys. Everything I've heard from both Al Woods and Randall Cobb, they seem like good players, seem like good guys in the locker room. So I'm all about it. Train our young guys, get a little bit of veteran leadership. Remember, our defensive line is pretty young. I mean, especially, even Carl Lawson's like not that old. He's 28 maybe or something along those lines. So adding some veteran depth across the board, I think brings some perspective, brings some leadership, and look, fills a need. So guys, let me know how you're feeling about these two signings down below in the comment section. Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.